Welcome back, Articulators. I am Steve McJones, and this is Articulate. This week, my boy Mikey came out, and it was actually pretty cool. He did he came to me with an idea of wanting to do a podcast on all about flat Earthism, and he came prepared. He didn't let me down, and he had like a whole. I don't know. I'm gonna post pictures of it on Instagram. Yeah, just pages. It looks like a presentation he was setting up and like an outline and everything. And I don't know. It just makes me love him even more. He's a funny guy, it's pretty informative. He did his research, and I learned a little bit in the process. I'm sure he did. Kind of changes your perspective on the world a little bit, not in the way that you think, but anyways, I don't know. But yeah, it turned out to be a pretty good episode, and it's fun, and you learn. So, yeah, enjoy. All right, ladies and gents, my boy Mikey back again. How's it going, Mikey?
Not so bad. How are you?
Pretty good, dude. Can I see this real quick?
It's thick,
dude. You got So Mikey is one of my first guests to want to come in with a topic and talk about it. Would you like to tell them what it is?
It's basically flat eartherism. So I'm not a flat earther. I'll get that out of the way before somebody gives me a ton of shit.
Dude, this is like a whole presentation and stuff.
It's a book report.
This is what the Ohio University Business Program is creating. Sheesh. That's awesome though. I'm excited. You did a lot of.
I have a decent amount about ancient models of the Earth because I find those very interesting.
Yeah.
And then I'm basically just going to talk about how the current environment around the conspiracy theory started.
Yeah. Okay.
And then we can talk a little bit about how a flat Earth would work.
A flat Earth would work. I'm into that. Yeah. So you're starting with the ancients. The ancients. The ancestors of the old times. Okay.
So this is split into two parts, ancient Greece and China. The reason I chose those is they have the most information about their, I almost said cosmology.
Cosmology.
That's a different episode, I think.
Yeah, maybe.
Ancient makeup.
Well, I don't know. Are they the same type of people? But I don't know. We'll find out.
So, starting off with ancient Greece, so they believed that the heavens, so basically the entire sky, was a dome around the Earth, and the Earth was like a circular disc.
Dude, like that the Simpsons movie? I don't know if you ever saw it. Where they chopped the dome.
Yeah, that's kind of a good way to put it. So,
well, that's pretty neat. Yeah, I think I've heard that before, maybe. But,
okay.
Yeah, so that they just thought we lived on in a dome.
Kind of.
Like the Truman Show. I'm sorry, too many movies.
No, I fucking love the Truman Show. So kind of the heavens were a dome around the Earth.
Okay.
I assume it was penetrable, it wasn't a literal dome.
Well, right, because the gods would come down and do all that fancy stuff. Fuck humans. The likes.
Oh.
Fuck with humans too.
Yeah, and on humans. And they thought the Earth was a drum shape, so it was kind of concave. And that explained why there was a horizon when the sun set and sun rose.
Oh.
If that makes sense.
A drum shape.
Yeah, so it was lower in the center than on the edges.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And
that's fair.
They believed in this model up until 500 BC.
Really?
Yeah. And something I found very interesting is...
That's only 2,500 years ago.
If you think that's not long ago, ancient China believed in a flat Earth until the 1600s.
Really?
Yeah.
That's pretty hardcore.
I know, it's fucking insane. We'll get into it, but they were very
persistent.
Yeah, they it was part of their culture.
Really?
So when they discovered it wasn't, they got mad. We'll get into it.
Yeah, for sure.
So basically, I'll start off with I'm gonna butcher any Greek or Chinese or scientific name in this episode, just to warn you. Anaxagoras. I called him the OG flat earther.
The OG flat earther.
Because not only did he think about it the most,
but
he also
declared it the most.
Yeah.
Really?
Pretty much. Anyone that would fucking question him, he'd just have another question back without solidly answering it. So
it'd be like, yeah, but what about, the stars and stuff?
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, but what about the earth that we stand on?
Right, pretty much.
That's fair.
So people asked him, why don't people just fall off the edge? So this is like old ancient Greece.
Yeah.
And he had a point which kind of makes sense for their time period. So when the sun sets, the impression the earth gives is like flat, if you think of like a sunset.
Yeah.
Like on the beach or something, it's not rounded.
Right.
So that only makes sense though in the context that at this point the Greeks had no idea how big the earth actually was.
Right.
Because obviously it would look flat just because it's 25,000 miles across.
Right.
So, and also they thought, I learned this through my research, they thought that the Mediterranean region was the only habitable area on Earth.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, that kind of makes sense, because
Right, yeah.
it's built around a food source, I guess.
Yeah.
And like a water source, but that's still crazy.
And then he was exiled from Greece for impiety, for stating that the sun was a flaming rock, and he thought it was somewhat bigger than the city of Peloponnese.
Okay, so everybody believed, they were with the flat earth thing. They were like, all right, that kind of makes... And then once, they set a rock on fire. That's a little much. That's too much.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
Right.
And then...
Well, good. Fuck that guy.
Some other things about the model, just real quick. Since they, like I said, they had like the sunrise and sunset over the convex part of the Earth.
Yeah.
They were unable to explain time differences on Earth because like the sun, if it was so small, I don't fully understand. But basically, it wouldn't affect this Earth in the same way at the same time. Like it wouldn't beam down.
Right.
So basically, it'd be the same time on Earth
All
the time.
All the time. Okay.
And then also it brings the question: once the planetary objects go beyond the Earth, how do they get back?
Oh yeah.
So then they, I think this must have been a fucking Anaxagoras. He came up with 2 more excuses. So maybe they just twirl around the Earth behind the mountains.
Maybe I could see it.
And then he said, maybe there's new planetary objects every day. Oh. So there's a new sun every day.
There's a new sun every day.
The sun goes.
Well, I like that. Hey, there is a new sun every day, right? It's a new moment. God.
Some Buddha shit.
Yeah.
Not even. That's like some Whole Foods.
Some Whole Foods Buddha. A Walmart Buddha. Wow. Yeah.
All right. And then once they realized the Earth was not flat, was around 5th century BC, and basically all of ancient Greece, all the writers agreed on this. And the big boys came into play. So Plato...
So right after the first guy was like, no, it's flat, most everybody else was like, nah, I don't think
Kind of.
so.
I mean, pretty much everyone on the Earth before 500 BC believed the Earth was flat. And then around 500 BC...
they were agnostic about it. They were just
right. And that's a big thing, too. It's like people don't really have a reason to believe it. Or it's just directly influenced by their religion.
Right.
So,
yeah.
It's just a little different.
So...
Plato said that the world is in the form of a globe, round as a lathe, having its extreme in every direction, equidistant from the center, the most perfect and the most like itself of all figures. So, in a way, the circle in ancient Greece kind of made sense because of, I think it's Plato's idea of, like, perfection of, like, absolute form.
Yeah.
So, like, a circle is, like...
Right, which was common in like the Roman times because everything was the perfect. Even the what's the big thing with like the statue in it? There's one in Nashville. You know what I'm talking about? Like
the pyramids.
No, I'll research it.
I was thinking the Bass Pro Shops pyramid.
Bass Pro Shops. No, it's called. It was in Percy Jackson too. How am I blanking on this?
Wait, what are you talking about?
The thing that they go to in Nashville and like fly around in, and they have the original ones in Rome, and it's the whole point is that every measurement on the thing is like is perfect.
I get what you mean though.
Yeah, it's like the perfect ratio. Yeah, it's called it starts with a P. I'm gonna interject later. Jamie, look that up, and then this is where I come in.
This is
where I come in. Future me. It's called the Parthenon, you big dummy.
And then Aristotle, the The gangster's philosopher.
The gangster's philosopher. Wait. Also, Plato, it's interesting that he said it was a globe because his name is Plate, so it should be like flat, like a plate.
I believe Plato is Greek for...
Plate.
Plate.
Yes, I think that makes sense.
Actually,
dishware.
I wonder what it is. That kind of makes sense.
Yeah, probably not.
Probably not. Plate. Imagine a mom naming your kid Plate.
Yeah, and here's my son. Spoon. Because he kind of looks like a spoon? I don't know. He's going to philosophize.
So, Aristotle was basically able to prove it through 3 proofs. So, number 1, basically gravity, that every portion of the Earth, due to gravity, would turn into itself and form a globe. That's
pretty interesting.
So, we'll be talking a little bit later, I assume, about why flat earthers therefore reject gravity.
They do? Is that part of the whole thing?
Yeah, we can get into that later.
Okay.
It's a little bizarre. And then travelers going south see constellations rise higher above the horizon, and that's true too. So certain constellations are only visible from like certain altitudes of the Earth.
Oh, okay.
But like based on its, you know what I mean? So like northern Earth, and you're not going to see the same.
Right.
Ones.
For sure.
And then the shadow of the Earth on the moon during the lunar eclipse is round.
Oh. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that could go with the dome, the plate shape, but, we won't, yeah.
Yeah.
Could still be
I mean, you could
be flat and then flat on the other side, too,
Yeah. And then, the next dude, I found this extremely interesting. So, there was Eratosthenes of Cyrene. I'm going to call him Big E.
Big E. Alright.
He was a rapper, but also he is a geographer and poet known for his many talents.
Well, poet is the same thing as a rapper, technically.
Yeah.
Big E.
Big facts, yeah.
Yeah. I like this guy already. What's he philosophizing about?
Basically, he coined the term geography and invented the concept of longitude and latitude.
Really?
Yeah.
So he, scoped out the whole Earth.
Yeah. So, that's actually what I'm getting onto is he was able to estimate the circumference of the Earth up to 10% accuracy.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, how long ago? What year
276 BC.
Really?
Yeah. Within 10%. So, like I said, the Greeks stopped believing in flat Earth in 500 BC, and only 250 years later, they basically knew how big this round Earth was.
Man.
Which is insane. So
it's crazy how, even before that, Egyptians had some shit figured out. It's crazy to me how, this is going to be a tangent, we can get back to it.
No.
But the people back then were not, stupid. You know what I mean? They weren't. So, if you were able to have a conversation nowadays about, even just, spiritualism and, philosophy, things that are still relevant today, and, kind of morals and ethics and whatnot, how much different would they be from where we are?
Something I find interesting about, if you read about any... It seems especially true of philosophers, but basically, any intellectual of an ancient civilization, they were never just in one field. Most artists were also scientists.
Really?
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Da Vinci, he was an inventor, painter, poet.
Right. Wow. Yeah, you're right. No, yeah, definitely.
I think there were and I remember seeing an article a while ago that I don't know how true this is, but it does get me thinking that an average peasant in ancient Rome, if they were to be transported to current day, the West, so basically the U.S. or Britain or anything, they'd be considered insanely smart.
A peasant?
Yeah.
From
just
back
any
in the
dude.
day?
Yeah. From ancient Rome.
I don't know about that.
Not
that
based
seems
on,
a little far fetched.
I know, but not based on knowledge, but maybe
survival skills.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I need to re-research.
Yeah.
Don't put that in.
No.
Jamie.
Actually, edit that out. Jamie, edit that one out.
Making me look bad. So Big E. Basically, how he found out how big the Earth was on summer solstice. He realized that there wasn't a shadow when he put something in the ground.
Oh, really?
In one part of Greece, yeah, because the sun was directly above.
Right.
And then he realized if he traveled a couple miles away and put a stick in the ground there was a shadow going south.
Okay.
So he found the ratio of the shadow to the height of the pole, and that gave him 7.5 degrees. And he knew if the Earth was round, it'd be 360 degrees.
Did he go through the business program too at Ohio University? Jesus Christ.
And then he cross-multiplied that to the distance of the Earth as the numerator, and then the distance between the two cities as the denominator.
Wow.
And he was able to deduct that just from that, which I find fucking insane.
Yeah,
How would you even think of that?
I have no idea. You have to be a genius on any standard, you know?
Yeah.
Like, fuck, that's a lot.
I know. And he also calculated the tilt of the Earth's axis and was extremely accurate.
Damn, he knew there was a tilt in everything,
Yeah.
dude. He got
So,
got the lean going.
Since he had the lean.
He got the lean, dude.
Since he had the double cup,
Yeah.
he was able to figure out that leap years had to exist because...
Alright, hold on. It'll give it like 10 more seconds, and then it'll like shut off. Okay. Alright, so E got the lean.
He got the double cup.
The double cup.
And therefore, he realized that we needed leap years in order to adjust for the Earth's tilt. And then he converted all of the major events of ancient Greece into a calendar with leap years, and that's how we're able to decide what happened during those periods.
Really?
Now, yeah.
Wow, so he's the main reason we know, like, what year kind
Yeah.
of stuff happened, and including leap years and,
Yeah, because it'd be all fucked up. I mean, we'd probably be able to estimate, but...
Right.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's pretty cool, though.
Yeah. Big fan of Big E.
Big E, yeah.
If
Did
you're
he get
listening-
exiled or anything?
Nah, I think they fucked with him.
Okay. I fuck with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're listening, great work.
Great work, Big E.
All right. So then that was basically ancient Greece's time. They continued to develop with their cosmetology.
That was their input for flat earthing.
Ancient China is a whole different beast.
Yeah.
So they believed in 3 different flat Earth models.
They had 3?
Yeah.
What's...
That evolved over time.
Wow.
And then...
Wait, what were the 3? Do you know?
Yeah, I'll get into it in a second.
Okay,
but
okay.
Just due to the fact that Confucianism was the most popular at this time.
Confucius say, he who sit on toilet is high on pot. Confucius say, he who go to bed with itchy butthole wake up with stinky finger.
What?
Yeah, it's Confucia. Have you ever heard those before?
I have.
They're just
Not
like
heard
weird,
one.
like little tic tacs of wisdom. I don't know.
I haven't heard that one.
You go to bed with itchy butthole, you wake up with stinky finger. Anyways.
So because of that, they relied heavily on like practical experiments and not necessarily scientific models. And I'm not going to blame Confucianism for nothing. It's okay in its own right, but that's
Right.
probably the main reason why they believed in a flat Earth until the 1600s. So now to get into the theories, because these are very fun.
Wait, what were the 3 models though?
So they're called...
Oh, these are the 3 models.
Yeah, they're called
okay.
Gai Tian, Canopy Heaven, Hun Tian, and Shun Yi.
Shang Yi.
So Gai Tian said no dome.
No
rid of
dome.
the dome. Heaven is flat, and the Earth is flat, and they're parallel.
Oh, so it's like layers?
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not... Yeah.
Did they believe in a hell, do you know?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. But there's parallel. That's pretty cool. I like that idea.
Yeah, and the Earth was like a pizza box. It wasn't like a frisbee.
It was like, oh, really?
I think so, yeah.
That makes sense. I can see it.
And then they believed that...
Better than some fucking dome.
Yeah, I'm not big... We'll get into the dome. Because people still... That's like the main model.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
So they believed that sunset and sunrise was an optical illusion caused by the sun just being too small to see. Like, and they use an example of somebody with a torch walking away. Which doesn't really make sense to me, considering that you literally see it go into the horizon. It doesn't just shrink and shrink.
Yeah, but, I mean, they did what they could, you know?
And they were actually able to explain why it's not the same time everywhere. So they thought that the sun was somewhere in the heavens and circled around the Earth.
Oh.
And it ranged 51,000 miles as a ray.
Oh,
So,
really?
yeah.
So they calculated some
They did.
scientific
Their
stuff.
calculations were pretty fucked.
I mean, yeah, you're calculating the sun, and when you believe there's a flat Earth, I don't know.
Yeah.
Some things are gonna go a little wrong there.
Forgot to hold the one. And then they were like, fuck this, and they picked up Huntian. And then they began believing in basically, it's kind of like the dome, except kind of like what you were saying with hell, it's on the other side as well.
Oh.
So they describe it as like an egg shape.
Yeah, like an oval.
Earth is like the yolk.
The yolk.
In between. It's still flat.
That's a good one. I like that one better.
Yeah.
I could get with that. I like being in an egg.
To quote Zhang Hang.
Wait, this is me in a nutshell. Help, I'm in a bloody nutshell! Get me out of a nutshell! That's from Austin Powers, but...
Oh, wait, yeah.
Yeah.
To quote Zhang Hang, the heavens are like a hen's egg and are as round as a crossbow bullet. The earth is like the yolk of the egg and lies in the center.
Lies in the center. Alright.
And then they're like, fuck that. Shun Yi.
Shun Yi, number 3.
Earth is flat, and then the heavens are everything. So they're basically boundless and go all the way down to Earth. And...
Around Earth? Question mark? Through Earth?
I think it's just like from the ground up are the heavens.
Okay.
So like.
Well, that's still pretty cool. That was like the first idea of like infinity. You know, not like the first idea, but like where the heavens go out.
It depends on infinity. Yeah.
Yeah, as opposed to a fucking dome.
And then this is where we get into fucked up calculations.
Okay.
So, they try to calculate. Actually, no. This might. Never mind. Disregard that. Jamie,
cut that out.
and something I
Cut the
find
shit.
crazy about. I believe it's the Gai Tian model. Is some people theorize that the Chinese rain hat, you know, the like conical one.
Oh yeah.
Some people believe the model of that was based on their perception of the heavens.
Oh really?
Yeah, because like
it's like to Earth in relation to Earth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which I find pretty fucking.
Yeah, no, that's pretty cool. I mean, it would make sense. They're pretty weird looking hats. I like the hats. Don't get me wrong.
I like that.
Yeah, they're pretty nice.
I'd wear them.
Yeah, definitely. In the right context. Of course.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't. Jamie. I need to stop.
It's fun though, just to like, Jamie.
You have no responsibility. You can just yell at him.
Yeah. Fuck it, Jamie.
It's not your fault for saying it. It's his fault for making you look bad.
Dude, do you know he actually does a lot of work on that show?
Nah.
He, like, Joe Rogan literally just shows up and talks. Jamie does everything else. Literally everything else. And it's called the Joe Rogan Experience. I don't know. I just feel bad for that guy, but, you know, what do you
Was he the video editing?
He does, like, the sound editing, the video editing, the, you know, looking up of stuff. He produces it. He, like, publishes it. I don't know.
Joe Rogan just smokes fucking blunts.
Yeah, he just smokes blunts with Elon, you know, just chilling. I don't know. Joe Rogan, you know, he is the personality, and then he
I respect him.
Yeah, and he has like the hookups. So what are you gonna do?
Yeah,
but I don't know. Just give Jamie, you know, shouts out Jamie.
Pay Jamie well at least.
Yeah.
And then eventually they were like, all right, fourth model, round Earth.
Round. Oh, so they did have the round Earth one.
They did eventually in the 1600s.
Okay. But it was still, were all three of them like, or all four of them, you know, kind of widely, you know, were they like widely debated or something? Or?
So Han Tian and Gai Tian were debated for, I think, like centuries. Mm-hmm. But eventually Han Tian took over, and then
Han Tian was which one again?
The egg one.
The egg one, okay.
And then they transferred over to the infinite one. And then it was actually like a big deal when they transitioned to a round Earth, because it was by like, I think, European Jesuit missionaries. And they were kind of sad that they were losing their culture.
Oh, so they came over to China and gave them
like,
this idea of the round Earth?
You guys are way off.
And they were like, yeah, but we don't want the Earth to be round if it means we were wrong.
Right, exactly. Yeah, totally. So
kind of sad.
What's his name? Eminent scholar Run Yan
Eminem.
said, the laws are always changing. I don't know where the real reason lies. And he said, heavily laws are so profound and subtle that they lie behind human ability. which I find interesting that he considers like matters dealing with like the heavens to be like outside of human knowledge.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, because we still can't comprehend anything about the afterlife or whatever.
Yeah, sure.
And, you know, we're not here to debate that, but like, but the fact that he thought of it and like stated it in a scientific context, you know, about, but that's more about like, I think about like astrology and like everything outside of the earth. It's not really has to do with the shape of the earth, does it? I don't know. It doesn't really have to.
I'd say they're one and the same.
Really?
Because it just, at least, I don't know Chinese religion that well, but at least in the Bible, it mentions that the earth is built like a circular disc. And that's one of the driving forces of the modern flat earth movement, is just like taking the Bible very literally.
Okay.
I'd say, it's partially based on like tradition as well, though.
Okay.
I don't know.
No,
And then, moving forward, a couple hundred years. All right, a recent survey asked 8,000 U.S. adults.
Here we go, getting to the meat of it.
The meat. Do you believe that the world is round or flat? Guess how many felt confident, Americans, that the earth is round?
How many?
84%.
84% felt
14%
confident.
weren't sure.
What?
And 2% were confident that the earth was flat.
Oh my god. 2% of all of how many?
Americans.
Well, not all Americans, all surveyed Americans.
Yeah, so, yeah.
And they took the survey online, so you're getting
8,000 is a good sample size, though.
There's like 40 million people in America.
It's 2% would be 6.5 million.
2% would be 6.5. Oh, shit. Yeah. Well, and that's 2% of the 8,000. I don't know if 8,000 is a good. It depends on how
they. Good sample size. And it's Pew Research.
Yeah. Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Like I said, it's like if it was like from Facebook that they got like the survey or something, and they're like, "Do you believe the Earth is flat?" And somebody like accidentally clicks. Yeah. Karen's like, "Yeah, I do believe." Mm-hmm. And you know why? Because God told me so.
Very much.
Yeah. Yeah. That is quite a bit, though.
Yeah. 6.5 million Americans alone.
Well, I think the more astonishing figure is the 14% that weren't sure.
That is concerning, yeah.
It was like...
I feel like it's hard to be agnostic on that.
Yeah, like that's a definitely... I don't know, like a hit or... Yeah, like you said, you can't be on the fence. Like, well... Could be flat. I don't know. I've never been anywhere.
15%?
That's what I'm saying.
To put the 2% in perspective, 8% of Americans think marijuana should be completely illegal. 3% are 2 or more races. And 3% of the USA are millionaires. So you probably met at least like 5 of those people. Yeah. So what I'm thinking is, you probably met flat earthers and you just didn't know it.
Right. Wow.
So, how the fuck did we get here?
Is that one of the bullet points on you? How the fuck did we get here?
Talk briefly about my boy Robotam. He was an English inventor and worked in like communes and shit, and wrote a lot about flat Earth.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
In what era?
He was born in 1816.
Okay.
I think he died kind of young though.
And he's stuck with the flat Earth?
Yeah, so he is most known for the Bedford Level experience, or Joe Rogan experience. Bedford Level experiment, where there's this river in England called Old Bedford River. It's like 6 miles across, and he put like a flag on a sailboat, and then saw it from the other side, and he noticed that as the flag was going, it was staying completely level. Whereas if the Earth was curved, it would
get higher.
It would dip.
Oh, it dip?
Yeah, because like as the flag keeps on going, it's going over the curvature.
Oh, yeah. Right. From I gotcha.
And he published like, "Yep, the Earth is flat. Just checked." And
just tweets that.
just
checked. And he gets like 16K.
He did the math.
Yeah.
Something I found fucking hilarious was 1870. So I think maybe after he died, John Hampton was like, you know what? My boy was right. And I would bet money that if we recreated it right now, even though it was a couple decades ago, we get the same results. And this famous physicist, Alfred Russel Wallace, took him up on that and said, all right, but we have to make the flag higher. And he was like, okay, because he didn't know what the fuck he was talking about. Basically, that adjusted for refraction.
Oh.
And so the physicist won the money because...
Yeah, because, I mean, the Earth is round. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, why would some guy bet? He's like, you know what? Some experiment from 50 years ago. That seems about right. I don't know. It seems like... And he's trying to disprove... This guy's trying to be like Martin Luther, right? Where he, like, exiles himself and, like, posts some shit up on the church and, like, makes, like, a big deal out of the Earth being flat. He's like, what? The flag didn't move. Or it didn't dip. I don't know. And then some guy wants to bet. He's like, oh, that guy knew. That guy knew. That's insane to me.
Which is, I don't know if he was just trying to profit off of it or he just didn't know his shit, but he got... Yeah. That's like a common...
It was more of a gambling problem than a scientific like issue he was trying to do.
That's his LinkedIn bio, flat earther / gambling addict.
Yeah.
So people still do this experiment to this day with like mixed results just due to like human error pretty much.
Oh, do you mean like when people like have a miscarriage and then they put the baby out on the river and like set it on fire?
Baby didn't dip.
Yeah, baby didn't dip. The flag, the fire. That's fucked up.
And then after Robotham died, this lady called Lady Elizabeth Blount. Smoking Blount. Created the Universal Zedetic Society with the goal of the propagation of knowledge related to natural cosmology and confirmation of the Holy Scriptures.
English, please, Mikey?
I don't know. Basically, she wanted to prove the Earth was flat using the Bible. Oh. And I think...
Oh, see, Karen.
Yeah. So she's Lady Karen. I think her effect was basically the propagation of religious themes that we see in the Flat Earth movement now.
Oh.
Because she took like the Bible completely seriously and said that it proves the flat Earth, and like so people that were already religious were like predisposed to like
just believing in the Bible.
If they didn't agree with it, it's like implied they don't.
What's in the Bible that says the world is flat?
It says, I forget the exact phrase. It says God like casted. Oh, I think it's like casted the Earth like the wax of a letter.
Oh, is this like Genesis, like the creation?
Yeah, I believe so. I think it's Old Testament.
Okay.
So.
Like the wax of a letter?
You know what I mean? Like the stamp.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so that also kind of like ancient Greece implies like a convex rim.
Yeah.
Keep water in, I assume.
So she's basically just like that one bitch that first started this whole thing. The Flat Earth Dome guy.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck both of those people.
They're centuries apart, but close in IQ.
I hope they both fell off the edge. Yeah, together at least, you know. That's
and then,
cute.
Basically, her group evolved into the International Flat Earth Research Society, aka Flat Earth Society, which is still the most popular, like, flat Earth group. Especially, like, their website, tfes.org. They have, like, a form.
How recent was this? How recent was this lady?
I think she... I think it was early 1900s. Yeah.
Early 1900s.
And then it became the Flat Earth Society in the 1950s.
TFES.org.
Check it out. It's a fun one. And then
they have like little games and stuff like flying around.
Space Invaders.
It's like a hammer that just smashes the Earth flat. The circle down.
Whack-a-mole.
Yeah, that's
Different
fun.
Earths.
Yeah. I'm gonna check this website out now.
But nobody really cared until the internet, and then Flat Earth Society was really able to propagate.
Oh, yeah.
And now we're in current times.
And now we're here.
So, what I noticed is, based on the experiences, I found a video where they surveyed different people that were at a conference for Flat Earths. And this is like the common archetype that you see. So, they have prior skepticism of the government or society in general.
Okay.
And
well, you should, but
yeah, no, it does make sense. But if you believe in like multiple conspiracy theories, it kind of like it's easier to believe.
There's not as much credibility.
Yeah, that NASA is lying to you about the Earth being flat and like shit like that. So the most popular flat earther alive right now, Mark Sargent, uses this metaphor about a cheating wife.
Oh, and this is what sways most people.
Yeah, so if a wife finds out that her husband is cheating, she's more likely to like watch his every move. And he says that's how like flat earthers are, that like they realize the government is doing something wrong, so they start to watch every move and connect all the dots.
Oh, yeah, and then so, but also this cheating wife just might go crazy, and like kind of like he went to a movie or something by himself and be like, "What the fuck? I saw it!" Yeah, and kind of freak out. So
they're arguably crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, arguably.
And then they usually watch a YouTube video that introduces them to the topic. Almost always. It sounds demeaning to say.
Have you seen the YouTube video?
I've seen some. I usually just lose interest just because they're very one-sided. So they do a lot of like the Bedford level experience or experiments, but they don't account when they do measurements. They usually don't account for the fact that the Earth, if you do measure as a curve, you have to use like a parabola function and not like a straight line function.
Oh, true.
So usually they're like the math adds up, and it does, but it's like it's bad math.
It's bad math. You're not using the right equation.
Yeah.
The proven equation.
And then they become obsessed with the topic for a couple weeks, and then they eventually accept it, especially because as the community is growing, everybody wants a community.
Yeah, well, I think that that relates to anything. Is like when you're first getting into something, especially like I don't know, when you're in ages of like very like teenagers are very like malleable and kind of like looking for stuff to latch onto. So it's like I don't know, when I found like Cosmos, the show, or when you find any show or anything, you get like really into it for like a few weeks, and after that you kind of like, it's not that you don't like it anymore. It's like even like a band or something. Yeah. But it's just like it kind of just becomes like a part of you.
And if you meet someone else that's a fan too, you guys are like instantly friends.
Right.
You identify with it.
True.
It's an extension of yourself.
Yeah. So the flat earthers.
Yeah. So that's like what I think is going on, is like it gives them a purpose and like an
identity.
Yeah. Exactly.
Kind of thing. That's fair.
And I think that's especially relevant now, just because like everyone's lonely and depressed.
And depressed and on Facebook and
they have friends now.
Yeah, flat bookers.
And just some stats about it. In the last 10 years, just a simple Google search for flat Earth has increased 400%.
Ooh.
So.
Well, I mean, that's people like you and me too that have searched like flat Earth.
But it's even if you don't believe it, it's still in your face in some ways out there. You're gonna believe it,
Well, and you said past 10 years.
Yeah.
I mean, the internet's only been out for like 15, like easily accessible, right?
It's relative.
So relative.
Yeah, so relative for Google searches.
Yeah. That's so weird. I don't know. That's I think it has to do again, like a lot of people nowadays just want something to believe in.
So.
It's kind of sad actually. I don't know.
I know.
And I don't know. There are some like people who can talk about things like this and kind of make it convincing. You know what I mean? Yeah. Especially like even for people, skeptics, normal people that would question the idea of a flat Earth. You watch a video and you're like, well, that is kind of weird.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. So during your research, did you experience that at all?
No, I never believed in it.
Really?
No.
Well, there you go. That's good.
I don't really believe in any conspiracy theories.
Really?
As much as I am interested in it, yeah.
I don't know. I think you should be open-minded to them.
That's
know,
right. Yeah.
Like I said, I don't know. Did JFK, that whole thing seems a little...
That's sus.
Yeah, that's a little sus, right? You don't believe in any... You can't say that you don't believe in any conspiracy.
I mean, I'm like... If we were to put it on like a percentage scale, I'd say I'm no more than 25% on any.
On any... Oh, conspiracy.
Like, Epstein...
Really? You don't believe he...
No, I do.
Oh, okay.
Somewhat.
Oh, okay.
I'm that's like on the barrier of 25%. I'm like, I could see it. but
really,
I don't think
you still don't believe he.
No.
Really?
Or
what you believe?
Yeah. Don't
Yeah.
put words in my mouth.
Yeah. Really? Do you trust the government that much?
I guess you could put it that way. I don't know. I'm big on like evidence, and usually there's more evidence of like the common
knowledge type of thing
versus like like I feel like things can add up, but that doesn't necessarily make them true.
Yeah, but I mean, it's I don't know. I kind of go like 50-50 on things.
Yeah.
So it's like the fact that we're just taking what the government says at face value. I don't know. There are facts and stuff like that, but I mean, they're like I was talking about kind of earlier with the statistics, is like statistics can be swayed pretty easily. I don't know if you've ever seen or taken a statistics class, but like you kind of learn that like you can make anything look like something.
That's true.
With any direction. So it's like, which again is more for your argument, I would say as well. Is like you can make any conspiracy look real if you have enough points,
right? Yeah.
Or anything.
And that's something I kind of thought about, is like to go back on the mathematical model of like the Bedford level experiment. Mm-hmm. If you didn't know the parabola thing, just because you're not that experienced in physics, you'd be like, yeah, that makes perfect sense. Yeah. That literally is an balanced equation. There's nothing else to the argument.
Yeah.
So,
but
I don't know what.
But like I said, it's easily swayable for the people in charge or whoever's providing these statistics to be like, well, I don't know. Like, I mean, it's these facts right here, remain facts or whatever. Mm. But I don't know. Magic is just science that hasn't been proven yet. Have you ever seen? I think it's called The Box. It's like the one where you press a button and
was that like the Cameron Diaz?
Yeah, Cameron Diaz. Yeah, it's such a bad movie, but that's a quote from it. Where it's
really?
Like, yeah, science is just.
This sounds a lot deeper than.
Yeah, they made it out to be like a suspense, like crime movie type of thing with like a box to kill somebody, but no, it ends up being some crazy like sci-fi, like magic type of thing, which is pretty interesting for a Cameron Diaz movie at least.
Better than Hot Teacher.
Oh shit! I always isn't there like Hot Teacher, is it Bad Teacher?
You're right.
Yeah, and then like Easy A. There's just too many teacher movies nowadays, and the only one that rises above any of them is Drillbit Taylor, because Owen Wilson is amazing, and those three kids just pull off the role so well. So yeah, but definitely weird. I think it's a good representation of our society nowadays as well. Because there's there's niches for everything. You know what I mean?
And the internet is. I think that's the main reason I'm interested in flat Earth is it's such a product of the internet.
True.
And the internet is such a thing I esteem. Mm-hmm. That's like, this could happen for a lot of things.
Does that change your mind or your perspective about the internet a little bit? Like going into researching things?
Yeah, because I was literally my parents love me a lot. Don't get me wrong, but I was annoying as shit. So they put me in front of a computer for an hour. Let me play some games and shit.
Most little kids are annoying.
Yeah.
I would say so.
So I was raised on the internet, and I turned out fine. But I can understand some people that...
Debatably.
I can totally understand.
How some people would have just gone down one... Like, you go down one wrong rabbit hole one day... And you're a pedophile, Whoa.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. But, you're a flat earther or whatever, It's like, you kind of just... pedophile. If you can relate this to. But
I think if you stumbled upon child porn and liked it, there's probably a...
It was going to happen at some point, with the internet or with or without the internet. That's fair. Yeah. Well, so, rabbit holes, tangents. But in the end, you did all this research on flat earthers. You still believe it's round.
I have no reason not to. If anyone out there is a flat earther and
what about the whole thing about
persuade me? I'm more than interested.
What about the whole thing of the government covering up people flying in certain areas or whatever?
Yeah. So I was hoping we could get a little bit more into the specifics. So basically, Antarctica, they believe, surrounds Earth. It's not one continent, and it acts as an ice wall to keep water in. Oh. And that's a reason why travel is basically banned to Antarctica, which is true.
Oh, really?
Only scientists can go there. So NASA basically, they used to pretend that they went to the moon for a political advantage.
Right.
And now they basically pretend the Earth is flat and we have been to the moon for financial incentive.
You mean round?
Yeah. So then the reason they made it seem like the Earth was round when they quote unquote went to the moon was that was like the common idea at the time.
Okay.
So they had no reason
not to just go with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. And yeah, so how does the Antarctica the ice surrounding so what do they think the technical model is nowadays?
Yeah, so the generally accepted model right now is kind of like the ancient Greece one. So like it's not like the heavens, it's like atmosphere, I guess you could say.
Okay.
It's like a dome surrounding the Earth. And it seems to me that in most models now, the Earth is actually convex instead of concave.
Oh, okay.
And the ice wall seems new to me as well.
Okay. That seems like some Game of Thrones shit going on.
Gravity. We never talked about gravity.
Oh, right.
This is
gravity.
my favorite part. Just seeing people's faces when they think about this. It's like a puzzle almost. So, they believe gravity is bullshit. Because if gravity was real, that would literally imply the Earth was flat.
Right, like Plato stated forever ago.
So they're like, shit, like, what can we do? So they believe the Earth and all planetary objects are constantly going up.
What?
It's called universal accelerator. So if you think about it, when you jump, the Earth catches up with you, and that's why you hit the ground.
That's pretty hardcore.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard.
It's like a Super Smash Bros. Like arena type of thing.
It's hard to prove wrong. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, gravity is just us moving faster in one direction, I guess. Wow, that's a pretty in-depth. They have to believe a lot of things to believe that the Earth is flat.
So that's one of the reasons I'm pretty skeptical of the theory.
Do they believe there's like an edge?
No, because the ice walls. So
they don't know what's beyond the ice walls?
Yeah, so there's a daredevil dude, I can't remember. I think it's Mike Hughes. Something Hughes. He's a daredevil and flat earther.
Dick Hughes. Huge. I'm sorry.
Dick Hughes. His balls are huge.
I mean,
he shot himself up into the sky in order to see what was beyond the ice walls.
Really?
Yeah.
Where? Was he near? Like, was he in...
I don't know. No, I think he was in America.
He just wanted to... He thought he could see it?
Yeah. Like, above planes and shit.
And what do you mean shot himself?
He built a rocket and shot himself into the sky.
Oh my god.
He lived.
He lived?
Somehow. I think.
Did he see it beyond the ice walls?
I couldn't find it.
Oh man.
Yeah, but they think something suspicious is going on like the other side.
Beyond the ice walls. Okay.
That's why NASA lies.
And that's why NASA lies. Because they're lizard people, and that's where all the lizard people live. More of the lizard people.
Yeah.
And they're like coming in.
Yep.
Wow. I think I'm starting to believe. I don't know. I think I'm starting to get swayed.
Universal accelerator really gets me because it's like a puzzle. How do you prove that wrong?
I mean, scientists know, but for you and I, we don't need any. The evidence we have is right here. We are flying upwards.
Whoa.
Man. I kind of like that idea. But wow. All right. That is flat earthism for you.
Yeah, that's all I got.
There's nothing else to it.
That's it. It's a very interesting subject to delve into. I didn't talk about everything, so if you want to check it out some more,
hit me up.
Yeah, hit me up. Don't hit me up.
I need friends. Talk to me about flat earthing.
I recommend doing research, though. It's very, very interesting.
It's just a fun rabbit hole to get into. It's kind of like any other one, like time travel or any other conspiracies or anything like that. That's fair. And I'm glad that I don't have to do it now. Spend like hours. It's just one of those nights where you're under the blanket, just like looking, the glow of your phone lights up the whole tent that you've created. And you're just like...
Dorito dust on your mouth.
Yeah. You're like, wait, Obama was a flat earther? Yeah. All right, man. Well, I appreciate the information and actually doing some research.
No problem. It was fun.
Thanks so much for coming out.
Yeah, thanks, man.
All right. See, it was pretty fun. It was a good time. And thanks for continued support. I appreciate it, dogs. I'm sorry. Anyways, thank you. I love you. Amen. Goodbye. Okay, bye. I really wanted to call this episode. Is this offensive? I wanted to call it flat chestism. It just works so well. I don't know. Is that I have a flat chest? I don't is that bad?